my guest for today. I'm very happy. I can say na masaya ako. Happy to have this person as a guest. Magkilala kami for a very, very long time. Back when I was in high school pa. He's the happiness teacher, founder of Blest, a speaker, author, trainer. Pero ito yung pinaka interesting for me. Laughter yoga leader. Welcome to the show, Mr. Bryson Bonsol. Sir, thank you very much for your time and for being here.
Thank you so much, Anton, for having me in your show, and I'm happy to reconnect. No, thank you. I'm really happy. I'm also updated with what's happening with your life. So right now, congratulations.
Thank you.
You're active. Very good.
Yeah. Both of us are actually very, very active tayo. Pero to start things off, usually, I know now today we're gonna talk a lot about happiness, of course. Yung, I would say your profession, happiness. Ito yung parang currency mo. But I wanna ask you, sir, ngayong 2020, I can say na in my short lifetime of 23 years old, this is the worst year. This is easily the worst year that I've ever experienced. Sir, how are you naman doing during these days?
I'm surviving, thank goodness that God provides really, no, despite what's happening in the world. My industry is also affected because speaking industry, it's events, no, where people would be gathered, mass gathering, biglang bawal. In fact, ang ganda ng pasok ng 2020 kasi doon nagsimula yung mga TV interviews ko sa ABS-CBN until pumasok yung lockdown, boom.
Yeah.
All my schedule, ang ganda ng calendar ko rin po, no, until 2021. When lockdown came, unti-unting nag-cancel, nag-postpone yung mga speaking engagements. So, challenging. So, I kept on praying, Lord, give me more speaking engagements. I am already in the adulting stage. So many bills to pay.
Yeah. I can relate. Na pati sa akin na ang daming mga events na na-cancel. But then, luckily naman, parang nag-start na yung mga virtual events, yung mga virtual. I'm sure nakikita ko rin sa mga posts niyo, you've been doing online workshops also, online events. So okay naman, parang would you say na kahit you took a really hard, hit itong 2020, okay naman, you're still on your feet, doing well naman, all things considered.
This is one of the things that we can be grateful for, that when this pandemic hit us, we already have these online platforms. So almost, I feel, lahat talaga ng mga events ko online. So kanina kakatapos lang. And I'm excited for a face-to-face in-person training. I'm happening December, so excited na ulit ako to mingle with people. Of course, with the safety precautions.
Okay. So meron na magkaka-physical in-person work na yun. Okay. Earlier this year, may mga TV guesting ka. I got to see the video of your interview with the one and only Tito Boy in Bottom Line. And you talked about, I want to jump into this na, the 3 G's of happiness. You talked about it there, but I also want to get the Anton on one version of your 3 G's of happiness. Sir, ano ba tong 3 G's?
Yes, so I've been reading a lot of books about happiness, attending different workshops. Until such time, I was able to craft my formula for happiness. So the 3 G's of happiness is, the 3 G's are God, gratitude, and generosity. Of course, let's begin with God. For those of us who believe in a higher form of being, a God, the source, the creator, some would call him the universe, okay? And if you want to be happy, you have to be connected to this source, which is also in you and in you. Okay? We are spiritual beings, and so happiness would be connected to that because our Creator is the God of joy. Naiisip natin we are not connected. Kung mga parang di ba? Kaya maganda, we have activities in order for us to connect to this God.
Yeah.
At katulad niyan, silence, meditation.
Pero sir, I wanna ask, na-mention mo na we are spiritual people. We need to be able to connect to that higher source. Nakikita ko in your background, there's a lot of Catholic figures, and halata when someone sees your for those who are listening to the audio version, marami mga saints in the background and Catholic symbols. So when you preach about happiness, when you talk about this, you're not necessarily referring to the Catholic God, at least yung belief natin. So you're talking about just a higher the belief of a higher being and that relation to that higher being, no matter what
Yes. No matter
interpretation.
what faith.
Yeah.
Yes. Because according to studies, this was made by, actually, ang dami nang gumawa ng studies na to, that those who are practicing, kung ano man yung faith mo, kung ano man yung belief mo, Catholic ka man, non-Catholic, Hindu, Muslim, lumalabas sa studies nila that those who believe in a higher form of being are more resilient, are happier. Why? Kasi itong paniniwala sa God, itong mga tao na talagang practicing, ano yung meron sa kanila? There is hope in them. Na may pag-asa sila that all of us would experience trials, challenges, pero dahil itong mga naniniwala, the believers, no, the faithful believers, naniniwala sila na nagkakaroon tuloy ng kahulugan yung buhay nila. Nagkakaroon ng meaning. So, hindi kagad sila bumabagsak because they're resilient, napatatag sila ng faith nila. And for those who are practicing, they kept on hearing, they're being inspired, and therefore, mas lalo silang namomotivate to continue to go on with life. Okay. So, actually, pagka sinabing God, may mga magbibigay rin ako ng mga happiness activities under that. No? At I've mentioned that na kanina, meditation, because happiness is also a brain activity. Like for example, si Matthew Ricard is a Buddhist monk. Okay. And he participated in this long study. Ano ba ginagawa ng mga Buddhists? Most of the time, kahit sila'y gising, kahit naglalakad, kumakain, they always meditate. They always meditate, no? So, while he was meditating, may mga aparatos na nakalagay sa ulo niya, pati sa dibdib niya, pinag-aaralan siya, pinasok rin siya dun sa MRI, pinag-aaralan what is happening in his body, kung may nagbabago ba, no? And in fact, meron. Pagka pinalagyan ka ng aparatos ito sa ulo just to measure the brain waves.
The brain activity.
May tinatawag tayo na alpha, beta, nare-reach niya yung yung theta, na nandun na yung meditative state. So ibig sabihin, pag nare-relax ka, pagka ikaw ay nasa sa state ng meditation, yung brain mo nare-relax din, nagkakaroon ka ng peace. No?
Wait, sorry, kasi yung theta, sorry sir, yung do you know, ano ba, kasi ako, I've never really heard of the alpha, beta, theta. Does that mean if your brain like reaches that, it's a certain, like, is there, may mga ibang mga activities ba na you can compare na, when you do this, kung may ganyan, may theta ka, for example? Yeah,
all of us, no? When we are active, for example, you're a great dancer. If you are dancing, ang nare-reach mo, yung wave yung brain waves mo could be alpha, beta, or even gamma, very active.
Oh,
no? Pag nasa school, nag-iisip tayo, gamma. Makikita mo yan parang sa earthquake, yung parang sa heart rate, yung gumaganyan. Yan. So from being active, alpha, beta, and then yung theta, medyo nare-relax na ng konti. Lumalayo na yung distance nung wave na ganon. No? So gising ka, meditative, your subconscious mind is wide open. Tapos pag delta naman, yun na yung natutulog na tayo. Okay. So in fact, nare-reach natin lahat yon throughout the day. Pag nakahiga ka na, from active nagiging theta, pag natulog ka na, nananaginip ka na,
so
delta.
Yung theta more of relaxed siya.
Yes.
Being relaxed.
And i-relate natin to sa happiness kasi minsan, Anton, nang sinasabi ng iba, pagka happy, tumatawa lang, nakasmile.
Very active.
Pwede kang maging happy kahit tahimik ka.
Okay,
so, diba? Kahit na tayo sanay tayo sa Ignatian retreat na tahimik. And then when you are at peace, when you feel contentment, that in itself is an experience of joy, an experience of happiness.
Sir, would you say na you when you experience happiness, is it more of the calm state? Kasi I think tayong dalawa, sir, medyo alike tayo eh. Well, at least when I see you talk, you're very eloquent, you're very outspoken, very loud, you like to laugh a lot, pati kumakanta ka rin. But that's when you're performing. I want to ask, like, on an everyday basis, kasi more often than not, you're not always speaking naman, even if, it's what our jobs are. When you experience happiness personally, is it more of the calm happiness? Or, kasi ako, I feel like, my understanding of happiness so far, it's the pag may magandang mangyari sa buhay ko, I have an achievement, doon ako magiging masaya. So I don't know if it's in the theta sort of level. Kayo, sir, ano yung experience niyo with that?
Yes, if I may share, no, kasi maraming levels ng happiness. Yung
Okay.
pinapropose ng positive psychologists, yung tinatawag nilang PERMAH. Okay? So, PERMAH. PERMAH.
PERMAH. Okay.
Simulan natin sa letter P. This will just be quick. P for positive emotions. Yun yung sinasabi mo kanina. When we are excited, when we are feeling elated or
Yeah.
surprised or laughing or yan na, positive emotions. Happy. Okay? Hopeful, ganyan, positive emotions. So, letter E for engagement. Meaning, if you're engaged, if you're absorbed in an activity that gives you life, when you enter the state of flow. Halimbawa, ikaw, pag
Okay.
nagsasayaw ka, enjoy ka dyan. Pag
Yeah.
ako nagbibigay ng talk, enjoy na enjoy
Parang
ako sa
in the
ginagawa ko.
moment ka, in the moment.
Yes, you are in the moment. So, happiness din yon. You are in the state of flow, using your signature strengths. Yung R, relationships. When we're surrounded with the people we love, the quality of our relationships, beginning with our family, with your friends, with your colleagues. M for meaning. So if you already know the meaning of your life, simple lang naman ng kahulugan ng buhay. Ang kahulugan ng buhay mo ay when you offer your life to other people, when you inspire people, give hope to them, make them happy as well, improve their lives, when you are generous, there you will find your meaning. So
Okay.
'di ba? Ito, pag when you do the meaning of your life, when you're active, hindi man kailangan laging nakangiti ka di ba? So, PERMA, letter A, you mentioned earlier, achievements. And we have different forms of achievements.
Yeah.
For the parents, seeing their children na makatapos ng pag-aaral, ma-raise sila ng maayos, achievements for the parents yon. I remember I facilitated a happiness retreat, and then listening to my participant, ang sabi niya, teacher siya, ang sabi niya, magkaroon lang ng simpleng bahay. Uuwi siya sa province nila kasi nandito siya sa Metro Manila. Uuwi siya sa province nila at magkakaroon siya ng garden na nandun na lahat ng kakainin niya. As simple as that. It's already an achievement.
Yeah.
Yung iba naman, promotion, money, it's okay. We have different forms of achievements.
Yeah.
And PERMA, letter H, it's for health. No? When you
physical
are
health. Is this physical health?
Physical health. Physical health, correct. Because when you're physically healthy, there you can do other things that will make you happy.
Yes.
Tingnan mo whatever we do to our psychology, it will affect our physiology, our body, and vice versa. Kaya yung may mga sakit, lalo na yung malalang sakit, na apektuhan rin yung kanilang pag-iisip kasi lupaypay sila. Kasi nandun yung physiology nila affects their psychology. So, ayun. Yung different ng emotions, different phases ng happiness.
So itong PERMAH, the acronym that we just spelled out. In your studying, should we strive to get all of it, or is it something na parang is there a certain way na we can balance it all? Kasi baka puro P lang or puro achievement lang yung the one you're focusing on. Meron ka bang way of thinking as to how? Kasi I think that if you get to achieve all of those consistently, I would say that's a full life. That's a good life lived.
Yes. Kaya maganda nga balanse. Hindi lang puro positive emotions na. Ano ba yung source ng positive emotions? Kasi itong positive emotions lumalabas yan. For example, connected yan eh. Positive emotions, bakit ka magiging masaya? Because of the quality of your relationships. You're one with your family members. Connected yan lahat eh. Bakit ka ulit magkakaroon ng positive emotions? Why does it feel good to be generous? Kasi yung meaning mo lumilitaw, no? Pagka tumutulong ka. Bakit ka ulit nakaranas na naman ng feeling of happiness, of joy? Kasi may na-achieve ka. Ano pa? Kasi you are in the state of flow. You are so engaged in doing what you love, using your signature strengths. So
yung PERMAH, sorry, can we quickly go through it again? P stands for positive emotions. E is nawala siya sa brain ko. Pero I have the lesson. Engagement yun. Hindi ako masyadong engaged. Engagement are relationships.
Yes, correct.
M meaning,
correct.
A achievement, and H health.
Yes.
Okay, it's good that we get to dissect this happiness kasi more often than not, when everybody wants to be happy naman. I think you would be someone, nagsisinungaling yung tao pag sinasabi niya, ayoko maging masaya, di ba? But it's not just an emotion eh. There are ways you can, kasi ako, honestly, dito sa pandemic, mahirap talaga, not just because of career, but then hindi ako mahilig na nasa bahay lang eh. Na kung if it's since I was a kid, if 2 days nasa bahay lang ako, naiinis na ako. Kaya ako lumabas, I have to play with my friends, anything like that.
Correct.
But I noticed
Yeah.
that when I'm doing something, when I'm busy doing a task, if kasi I'm home na eh, so alam ko na I'm not gonna get the joy from going out, I always would think na nadidistract lang. Parang nadidistract lang ako from my default setting of not so happy, medyo bored kasi nandito lang sa bahay. So, with that PERMAH, yung engagement, kasi napapansin ko, if I have this one thing to do for the podcast, I'm really just thinking about it. I'm really just editing. I would think before na nadidistract lang ako, but actually, based on your definition, it's a part of happiness. So, hindi siya parang, there are many ways to achieve happiness, no?
Correct. So you are entering that state of flow. So that makes you happy.
Yeah,
Diba?
yeah, I guess. May question ako though about achievements. There are a lot of achievements, but I think it's safe to say yung pinakasikat na form of achievement that people aspire for is happiness. Is money. No, sayang yung ano ko. Is money. When
Yes.
if it's a promotion, if
Correct.
it's a bonus, diba, or a job with a lot of money. Sir, naniniwala ka ba sa kasabihan na money can't buy happiness?
Ay, ganda lang tanong na yan.
Thank you.
Gusto kong sagutin yan. Ang sagot ko dyan, yes and no. Okay.
Very
Because
Atenista ang sagot.
discernment, yan si St. Ignatius, so nakikita mo. Magagalit yan. Okay, so, why yes and no? Let's be practical. Example, gusto mo ng milk tea. Saktong milk tea.
Okay.
O kaya, ay, shucks, ang ganda nung t-shirt na yun, no? Ang ganda nung cup, or ang ganda nun, ng bagay na yun, or kotse, whatever. Eh, you have money.
Yeah.
Binili mo. Lumungkot ka ba o sumaya?
Siyempre, sumaya.
Sumaya! Oh. Therefore, money can buy happiness. Agree? Agree. Oh, binigyan kita. For example, gusto mo magregalo sa mahal mo sa buhay. Oh, anniversary ng parents mo, binili mo, you're happy for your surprise. And they're happy for your surprise, for your gift. Naging masaya ka sila. Nabili mo ba yung happiness? Yes. Okay. So the answer is yes. Doon naman tayo sa the answer is no. Paano naman that money cannot buy happiness? There are many happiness activities, by the way, and we call them intentional happiness activities being proposed by psychologists. And when you read them, makikita mo na wala kang gagastusin in order for you to be happy.
Okay.
There are 12 intentional happiness activities proposed by Dr. Sonia Lubomirski. She is if I'm a happiness teacher, I would say she is a happiness expert because she's a doctor of psychology. She's a psychologist who studied the science and psychology of happiness. So, let me give you some of the 12 happiness activities na hindi mo kailangan gumastos ng pera. Number 1, gratitude. Actually, this is the second G.
Yeah.
Diba? In fact, when you read books on happiness, I have lots of them here. You will always find a chapter, just a chapter, dedicated for gratitude. Some would even begin chapter 1 after introduction, gratitude. And you can be grateful without spending money.
Yeah, for what you have na.
Magpasalamat ka sa mga tao na naging mabuti sa'yo. Thank your teachers, your parents. So it's for free. Another happiness activity being proposed by them is forgiveness. Forgiveness, because people will keep on hurting us. Intentionally or unintentionally. Could be your boss, could be your brother, could be your parents. May nagawa at meron silang hindi nagawa, and so we feel hurt. So we keep on forgiving them. Ano pang sinadjust nila? Savoring life's joys. Ibig sabihin, when you savor life's joys using your senses, ang sarap ng lamig ng aircon. Ang sarap ng init ng araw early in the morning. We're in Tagaytay or in Baguio, baba yung mga windows, singhutin ng fresh air. Savoring life's joys. Gumastos ba tayo? Hindi. Naging masaya ka ba? Yes. Ito pa, last na. Out of the 12, ito yung isa sasabihin. Sinabi rin nila, practicing random acts of kindness. And gusto ko i-relate yan doon sa third G, which is generosity. When you are generous, may reward yan eh. Alam mo, ang ganda, may isang study pa. Example, Anton, you are naglalakad ka lang. let's say, sa kalsada, ganyan, galing ka siguro sa mall, lalakad ka, and then you saw a beggar dun sa street. Okay? And then you saw someone giving something, giving an alms, no? Giving alms to this beggar. Could be food or money, ganyan. Nakita mo. Okay? Nung nakita mo, you felt good, no? Yung mga, wow, restoring faith to
faith in
humanity.
humanity. Tama.
Di ba? Alam mo, sa pag-aaral, may gumawa ng pag-aaral na ganito, no? Na yung recipient ng good act, tumaas yung level niya ng serotonin. Serotonin is one of the neurotransmitters na being released by our central nervous system, kamag-anak ng endorphin, ng dopamine, ng oxytocin. These are the neurotransmitters sa katawan natin that would make us feel good, happy, elated, loved, ganyan.
May dadagdag ako, sir. What do you call that chemical? Serotonin. Meron ako nabasa before. I'm not sure if it's true, if you've heard it. Na if you hug another person daw for 8 seconds, your brain releases that chemical. Oh, okay. So it's hindi lang Google. Also, the happiness teacher approves.
Totoo yan. So, kaya mahalaga yung touch na nawala sa atin itong lockdown. Kaya valid lahat ng nararamdaman natin. Naiinis tayo, madali tayong magalit. Kasi we are social beings. Biglang boom! Nakulong tayo sa room, sa bahay.
That's right.
Diba? Anyway, going back, tumaas yung serotonin level ng recipient. Ganon din yung giver. But wait, there's more. Even you, as an observer, tumaas yung serotonin level mo. Kaya, ang ganda-ganda ng magiging buhay ng mundo natin. Kung ang magiging mundo natin, if people will be like generous, observing good act. So, So, for your question, nabibili ba ang happiness? Yes. Nabibili yung iba? Yung iba naman, no. So, yes and no.
I would say, by a better way, is that money can buy happiness, but you don't need money to be happy. I think that's very clear din naman. Siyempre masaya na sa Pilipinas. Halata na.
Pero mas masaya pag may pera.
Oo, tama yan.
Kasi money affects all areas of our life.
Yes. And my family, they're very, very vocal sila, especially when it comes to finance. They always talk about it. They always teach about it. And last thing na I'll say with this topic of money and happiness, money isn't, when you get money, hindi instant na magiging masaya ka. But money helps you do things. If I only have this much money, I can only help this amount of people. But with more money, I can help more people. But it enables you to do more things. So I think that's a better way to understand money. Kasi I would say up to now, especially, and I'm gonna go to religion afterwards, baka it's in my wrong interpretation lang. In grade school, growing up, pero laging villain yung mga mayayaman. Palagi sila yung,
telenovela. Kasi it's like that.
No, sir, pati sa Bible. Sa Bible, yung mga, the wealthy man. Pero kasi he's arrogant. But then, before you see what he did wrong, mayaman siya. So, yun, gusto ko lang I wanna hopefully that's gonna change one day yung mentality natin na mayaman equals masama, di ba? Yeah.
Pero alam mo, nakakagulat pa rin when I see people na may nakikita pa rin ako sa post, minsan sa comment section sa mga balita, no, that they'd rather be poor than become rich, and because when they become rich, their wealth would drag them to hell. Sabi ko, what kind of mentality is that?
Oo. They're not helping anyone. They're just making it worse for themselves. But now I want to go to religion. Let's dive deeper in a little bit to religion. You're a very, very religious person. It is halata talaga. It's in your branding. Bryson Bonsol, very religious. No, nasabi mo na bakit?
Ayoko i-associate yung sarili ko sa sarili ko kasi happiness na lang.
Wait lang, but ano yung challenge? May challenge ba doon when it comes to hindi ka pare, but then branded ka as I would put you in the same, like if I look at the people in my life, nasa same category ka as yung mga naging kaibigan ko na priest. Kasi very in touch with faith, talks about the Bible a lot. What's the challenge? May kung meron.
Kasi syempre I know my weaknesses as a person. Okay. So minsan when I'm not worthy. Ganyan.
Okay.
And when in fact I also look up to people who are, saintly and of course, I have friends. They know me as loko-loko. So they know my kalokohan as well. So,
Okay. So parang religious ka eh. Dami mo namang ginagawa na alam namin. Okay.
mm,
Okay, get. So I
yeah,
think everybody naman has that chance. But then now, na sabi mo kanina na the first G of
mm,
happiness is God. So you really need to have that connection to a higher being, whether it's, Catholic faith or whatever belief
mm,
people have, no? My question is it okay to be religious and believe in God just because you want to be happy? Kasi if it's one of the main ingredients to be happy, what if you start believing in God for I'm gonna believe in God, I'm gonna praise Him, I'm gonna do what the Bible says kasi gusto kong maging masaya. Now, I
mm,
think that's a little selfish, but then is it right or wrong? Would you may opinion
mm.
ka ba about that?
Well, let's be neutral. How about the atheists? Can they not be happy?
Mm.
'Di ba? So, siningit ko si God kasi, well, most of us are believers, no, of a higher being, higher form of being, a creator, a
Yeah.
source. But sa psychology of happiness, one of the intentional activities nga sinuggest rin ng mga psychologists, um, spiritual activities. Okay?
Okay.
Na, yun nga, siguro kahit hindi ka naniniwala sa Diyos, for as long as you are connected to yourself, that is, you know how to be quiet, you know how to meditate. Kasi yung iba, may meditation pero hindi naman siya Christian meditation.
Mm-hmm.
Ano lang siya, general meditation. You just want to achieve peace. No? I'm talking about general, no? Na for those of you na hindi naman naniniwala sa Diyos. So no judgment, no? You can still be happy. It's just that since our yung mga audience ko, mga Catholic schools,
Yeah.
ganyan, diba?
And
Mga
it's who you
Catholic.
are. Of course, it's who you are then.
And yes, we are also professing our faith, no, as a
Yeah.
Catholic, as a follower of Jesus. Eh di nagsisingit tayo ngayon ng mga natutunan natin. So iba yung atake ko, pagka I know that this is a
Mm.
Catholic community or Christian community. So syempre spiritual. Minsan nga Anton, nagkakaroon pa ng argument or debate with regard to happiness and joy, no?
Happiness
Sasabihin ng
and
iba,
joy.
yeah,
I don't know the
happiness and joy.
difference. May difference ba
See?
yun?
Yeah. Um for the spiritual ones, they
Okay.
think that joy is deeper, that joy is lasting, that joy is spiritual because it's one of the fruits of the Holy Spirit, that joy is from God. And for them, they would think that happiness, on the other hand, would be fleeting and
Emotion
worldly.
lang. Okay.
And worldly. As
Gets.
a happiness teacher, I can use the words joy and happiness interchangeably.
Yeah.
Because when you define happiness, it would mean experience of joy. When you define joy, it would mean an experience of happiness. So,
Okay.
iba-iba. Pero no judgment. Yung iba kasi, joy yung gusto Pero sige, happiness or joy, anyway, it's just the same. Even
Yeah.
psychologists would agree na it can be used interchangeably.
Yeah. But going back to the atheist na na-mention mo. So,
Hmm.
would you say na yung mga atheists and believers, faithful people, will have equal chances to be happy, equal right to be happy? Am I right to na yung pag-isip ko na it's just that for you, sir, you believe that the best way to be, because there are many ways to be happy. Nakita man natin, you give a lot of definitions, there's a lot of experiences of happiness. Am I right to assume that your belief is that the best way to be happy, to experience the fullest form of happiness, is through God, is through being a spiritual person?
If you are a believer of God, ang
Okay.
sinasabi natin, may added kumbaga may advantage ka. Kasi additional technique to be happy, that you are
Yes.
connected to the source. Kasi parang, okay na tayo sige, if you want an additional, parang may bonus ka pa. No, may bonus ka pa kasi may pangahawakan ka when you are sad, when you are feeling down because of you believe in the greater scheme of things na may
Gets.
hahawakan ka.
Yeah.
It adds to your resilience.
Okay.
No?
Kasi I felt guilty a couple of times na kasi syempre inisip ko, I grew up Catholic household. Every Sunday we go to mass. We do naman, we kind of check all the boxes what you're supposed to do. if you want to say that you're a Catholic. But then when I started having Figo classes and I started questioning, I think normal naman that everybody's gonna
Yes.
question their faith. Inisip
Yes.
ko, okay, so if there is a heaven and there is a hell, and you want to, the goal is to go to heaven, kasi malamang you don't want to go to hell, diba?
Yeah.
So you follow these rules, you believe in God, you do all these things, but deep inside, even if I want to believe in God, nahihirapan ako. I would admit that it's a
Correct.
challenge up to today. I still sometimes question about, talagang God ba yan? Or is it just a coincidence? Or is it just like a nice excuse? So I would say, okay, I'm just gonna believe in God, because if I don't believe in God and I end up in hell, parang I'm not gonna lose anything by believing in God. So even if I'm not, I would have to admit that I'm still in that stage when it comes to my faith. Hindi pa siya, it's not, it's nowhere near an idea. I don't think it's in an ideal place na I can say na, yes, I really have a good relationship with God. We talk every day. Kasi I still don't know how to be in that. Hindi pa ako naka-level up to be in that place na I can say na I'm in that good relationship with God. I think yun yung isa sa mga struggles. Sharing lang, yung mga struggles ko when it comes to, trying to attain that happiness.
Yeah, that's valid, Anton. I'm actually happy hearing that from you. Kaya may philosophy, kaya tayo nag-aaral, and I myself also struggled before,
Mm-hmm.
no? Thank goodness, dinala ako ni Lord sa Ateneo. Ang galing ng Jesuits eh. Kasi sometimes, it also affects our happiness. The rules, the laws, like this, like that, para kang kinahon.
Mm-mm.
No? That faith, kung ano man yung religion mo, you follow this, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If you don't, punta ka sa impyerno. If you don't follow this, you feel guilty. Ayan na.
Yeah.
Yun yung nai-inflict sa atin. Kaya minsan, um, hindi rin ako natutuwa dun sa iba kasi parang nakakahuntuloy sila. Even their way of thinking, their decision making. Tapos ang nai-inflict tuloy, instead of love, instead of you being a loving person, being a free person, a person who can love everyone, bigla tuloy nakakahon. So ikaw tuloy, imbis na maging masaya, lagi mong nararanasan guilt, worries, what people will think about me. Ayan na, ay nako, you will be miserable for the rest of your life.
I think humans have a very hard time when it comes to differentiating and judging one thing from another. Now that we're in this year of the pandemic, syempre yung unang reaction would be to make sure na you're healthy, your family's secure, diba? All those stuff. Now I want to know, we're in this place of sadness, despair, worry. How do you know that it's okay to start looking for happiness na? Kasi marami ding tao na na nagmumukhang yung walang pake sa nangyayari sa mundo kasi parang saya-saya ng buhay. For you, sir, based on your personal experience, what did you go through any process na syempre at first sad ka and then did you start, okay, parang I should also take care of my happiness. Parang I should also, do things na syempre after you've made sure you're safe and you're secure and all of that.
Yeah. So dinaanan natin lahat ng phase na ganyan, ano? So from being sad, talagang I was so down. At first, I think first time ko makaranas ng anxiety attack. Yung hindi na ako nakakatulog sa gabi for an unknown reason. First month until April,
Sama nun. Ang sama ng time, those months na yon, grabe.
grabe. Alam mo, hindi ako makatulog sa room ko. Hindi ko alam kung bakit. Para ako nasosuffocate. Tapos konting mangyari lang sa body ko, I would connect it to COVID. Umubo lang ako, hindi ako makahinga, nagbara lang, ganyan. Uminom ako ng milk, lactose intolerant, nagka-diarrhea. One of the symptoms pala, diarrhea. Alam mo kung saan ako nakakatulog? Diyan, sa sofa. Nakakatulog ako 2 a.m., 3 a.m. In as much as we want to be productive, ako, I love reading books. Biglang lumuwag yung schedule ko. Ang gusto ko magbasa ng libro. Pero hindi ko magawa makapagbasa ng libro because I was feeling down, helpless. Ako lang mag-isa ngayon dito sa condo ko. So wala akong kahalubilo mga tao. So the entire ECQ hanggang September, hindi ako nakikisalamuha sa mga tao. So anyway, narinig na natin itong phrase na ito eh. It's okay not to be okay. Right? But it shouldn't stop there. Ganito dapat yan. It's okay not to be okay. But it is also not okay if you will not do something for you to be okay. Why? Because our natural state, sabi mo kanina, lahat tayo gustong maging masaya. Why is that? Because our natural state is happiness. Natural state natin yan. Ano ibig sabihin yan? We always return to that. When you're sad, you can say you're sad. Why? Because before you experience happiness. So may contrast ngayon. And we all want to be happy. We all want to experience joy, peace, contentment, etc. Now, paano ko natulungan yung sarili ko? Nakatulong nga sa akin itong mga online platforms because when people would invite me to give talks, sabi natin kanina dun sa PERMAH, engagement, using your signature strengths, and I enter the state of flow kasi nakakagana magbigay ng talk. Tapos I also earn money. So, ayun, dun ko natulungan yung sarili ko na to rise up, no? Kasi mahirap nung sa simula eh. So, kung ikaw lang sa sarili mo, you also help yourself. And also, I made sure that I am still connected to people, lalo na nung ECQ. I made sure na talagang tinatawagan ko yung mga friends ko, even my former students, kumustahan, for my own sanity.
Yun yung R, yun yung relationships.
Relationship, very good ka dyan, correct.
Na-mention mo yung happiness. This is something that I've been curious din about eh. I used to be, growing up, I was a very, very happy kid. Na palaging, happiness, let's go out, let's do something fun. I always believe na yung default ko was happiness. Then as I got older, syempre, yung sinasabi nila, you get to see the true world, you get to see the evils, yung mga sistema, all those stuff. Parang more often than not, hindi na siya yung default ko happiness. It's more of like, I try to reach for happiness. I try to get on that level of happiness. May suggestion ko ba na how to switch that mindset to think na if I'm in a bad place, if I'm in a sad place now, na this isn't my default. Hindi siya yung general way people are supposed to live. May tip ka ba, sir, or advice on that?
Yeah. So first, pagdaanan muna natin because our experiences would teach us something about ourselves, no? Self-awareness will always be the key eh. Kaya pag sa circumstance natin may nangyari tayong hindi natin gusto, sige, pagdaanan muna natin. Give it 1 day, 2 days, yung iba 1 week. Sige, okay. And then what happens? Ganun pa rin. May mga secrets. Using, siguro alam mo to, yung mga neuro-linguistic programming, no? NLP.
I'm not sure. Heard of? Please explain, sir.
I'm sure alam yan ng mom mo kasi speaker siya.
Okay.
Tanong mo sa kanya about neuro-linguistic programming. There are secrets, no? I've attended workshops on this na because everything is in the mind. Totoo yun. Naririnig na everything is in the mind, everything is in the mind. Pero before, hindi ako naniniwala eh. Kasi sa psychology, we know that we have conscious mind and subconscious mind. Right? Subconscious mind is 90%. Yung iba nga, 95%. And we only use 5%. Ito, like right now, we're just using the conscious mind, 5%. You listen to me, I listen to you, we converse, no? 5% lang yan. Hindi natin natatap yung 95%. Where the powers, where our power is, is there, nandyan talaga. So, when you know how to tap your subconscious mind, kung sinasabi mo yung default, you can switch in an instant. There are techniques. Okay. It's just that I cannot teach it to you right now.
What's the term pala?
Mahaba siyang i-explain.
Ano yung term ulit?
Sorry?
What's the term?
Is NLP, neuro-linguistic programming. There are many techniques on how to do that. You know, you would be surprised. Even bad habits or the vices you can change. For example, chain smoker. Hala, mahilig uminom, mahilig kumain ng bawal.
Sa subconscious.
Using NLP, mga 15 to 30 minutes, 20 minutes. Pwede mo nang pandirian.
I will research that. Pwede rin ito stop kasi ako mahilig talaga ako sa sweets eh. So yung joke ko palagi sa quarantine, di ba may flattening of the curve? Medyo nag-fatten yung curve namin dito sa bahay. So I will look into that not just for happiness but for other things also. May naman, so kanina may kasabihan ako na asked you about you, money can't buy happiness. Another one naman, there's a saying that there is such a thing as too good to be true. Naniniwala ka ba dun na when you're experiencing something really great, you're in a very good place, lots of good things are happening na minsan natatakot na ako na parang, wait lang. Parang parang masyadong masaya yata ako. Is it,
Mm.
do you get to, baka this is another subconscious thing that I have to fix, but then, have you
Mm.
experienced that na, wait lang, natatakot ka when you become so happy kasi baka mawala tong lahat. And then, the pain of falling from happiness, I'd have to say, hurts more than the joy you feel when you rise to happiness, for example.
Oh, sige. Maganda yan. Una, yeah, it's about the subconscious programming. Na-program kasi tayo. Yung iba, may fear pa nga about that eh. Ops, ops,
Oo.
ops. Bawal maging sobrang masaya.
Oo,
Kasi
nakakainis
nakakatakot.
yun.
Kasi pagka sobrang saya, may dadating na masama.
Yeah.
So, change that. Change that. You deserve to be happy. So when you are so happy, the secret is just be in the moment. Enjoy! Huwag mo munang isipin yung bukas. Minsan kasi we are so attached eh. Kagad, I so love this person. I love you, I love you, I love you. Huwag mo ako iiwan. Ganyan. O ganito gagawin natin next year. Mag-focus
Be
ka
in the
muna
moment.
ngayon. Ngayon muna. Kaya tayo natatakot kasi iniisip na natin yung 2 years from now.
What if, yung mga
Iwan ako
ganun.
dito. Yung mga what ifs, no? So, live in the moment. And then, let go of your attachments. No? Kaya rin tayo hindi nagiging masaya kasi masyado tayong attached. Una, doon sa circumstance. Know that everything flows. Lahat dumadaloy eh. No? So, events can change, people can change, and when if we are so attached to people na hindi to magbabago, even the events laging ganito, kawawa tayo. Let us accept the fact that all things change, all things flow. Kaya ang isa siguro sa happiness tip na pwede nating sabihin has something to do with allow things to unfold. Okay? Allow things to unfold. And learn to detach. Tignan mo yung kaya ang galing ng mga spiritual teachers. Kaya sinasabi ko kanina, with regard to happiness and faith, kung ano man yung religion mo, itong mga religion na iba na talagang matagal na, Confucianism, Hinduism, Buddhism, Christianity, may mga spiritual truths sila na talagang nakakatulong sa happiness. Ang tinuturo nila, detachment. Example, in fact, nature teaches us to detach. Tayong mga tao, by virtue of wear and tear, nagde-detach talaga as we
Grow older.
grow old, no?
Yeah.
Yung mata mo lalabo, pandinig mo lalabo, pati buhok mo magre-recede, yung skin mo magsasag, kahit ganong batak yan, magsasag yan. Yung ngipin mo, unti-unting matatanggal yan, kaya magfo-false teeth ka, magpupustiso ka. Pero minsan kasi, sakit ito. Sabi mo kanina, yung sobrang saya, tapos bigla ka nalaglag, no? Biglang boom, sobrang lungkot.
Yeah.
Yakapin mo, masakit. Yakapin mo, may proseso. May tinuturo pa rin.
Okay.
Talagang hindi mawawala sa buhay na makakaranas tayo ng pain, ng suffering. Kasama yun sa buhay. It's part of the life's ordeal.
Yeah.
No?
Maganda yung sinabi niyo, sir, about when you're worried about being in a place na parang masyadong masaya ako, you have to be in the moment and yung detach, be in the moment, detach yourself from yung mga expectations mo, what you want to happen in the future, or baka mawala na yung happiness ko. And number 3, let things unfold. I think that will also explain bakit meditation talaga yung pinaka parang everyone who's at peace, everyone who's happy, palaging may meditation in there. Ako, I wanna get into meditation, pero honestly, tinatamad ako kasi ayoko masyadong tahimik. I think it also shows nga bakit nga hindi ako masyadong masaya na masyado because hindi ako masyadong to get to that state of meditation na you have to just focus on your breathing, you be aware of yourself sitting on the chair. Yung mga sinabi mo about when I asked the too good to be true scenario, that I think is like it shows what meditation sort of, how do I say this? What it solves, what it addresses, all those problems. So how often do you meditate in a day? Or do you meditate every day?
Ayan, it will surprise you. Minsan wala akong schedule ng meditation kung kailan lang ako gusto kong tumahimik. In fact, kahit 1 minute, Anton, you can do this. Ito para sa information ng bawat isa, when they think of meditation, mukhang matagal, mukhang boring. 1 minute will do. Just focus on your breath. Inhale, exhale. 60 seconds lang yon. At least for ilang oras tayong gising? 16 hours. Let's say natulog ka talaga 8 hours. So meaning, dun sa 16 hours that you're wide awake, you spent 60 seconds of meditation. And correct, tama ka doon sa sinabi mo na meditation solves these things, itong mga worry natin. Kasi when we meditate, we surrender. No? Kaya ang maganda babalikan natin, happiness is also a brain activity. And when this becomes a habit, na yung 1 minute mo, nagiging 2 minutes na, habang nandun ka lang sa kotse, tahimik ka, tinanggal mo muna yung pinakikinggan mong music. Just right now, I mean, living in the moment, nakaupo ka sa throne of glory, nagde-deposit ka sa CR, ang tagal-tagal lumabas, you can meditate. While taking a bath, no, nagsha-shower ka, tahimik lang, walang music, that's meditation already, for as long as you are in the moment. Yun ang tinuturo ng meditation. Kaya pag kami nangyari ulit na trying event or circumstance in your life, you will be surprised. Uy, wait, ba't ko ito nakayanan? Uy, ba't hindi ako masyadong reactive? Ba't hindi ako masyadong nagalit? Uy, bakit ang bilis ko mag-let go, magpatawad? Kasi meditation, naging discipline na yan sa'yo. And it will manifest how you respond to life events.
Okay, that's very practical.
Kaya tingnan mo, Anton, yung mga taong, I'm sure nakamit ka na ng mga taong prayerful, lagi nagme-meditate, parang ang gaan-gaan nung aura nila. Parang wala silang problema. Actually, kahit meron silang problema, parang ang gaan-gaan.
Oo. Yung energy nila iba.
Yes. Di ba? So, ito, since you mentioned about energy, sa quantum physics, everything is energy.
Okay.
Your thoughts, your emotions, no? So, we also radiate energy. Question is this, ano muna yung energy that runs in your system? So, ano ba yung mga binabasa mo, pinakikinggan mo, pinanonood mo? You absorb them May tinatawag tayong energy contamination Nagkakahawaan tayo ng energy. Tama. So if you want to change your energy, the things that flow to you, you know what to do. Di ibahin mo muna yung pinanonood mo, pinakikinggan mo, ginagawa mo, the people who you surround yourself with, and you will be surprised.
Kaya ako napapansin ko umiiba yung mood ko based sa anong TV show yung pinapanood ko. As in, I'm sure you're familiar with the show Friends. Ito, simpleng example lang. I don't know why, mas sarcastic ako in general. Kahit hindi ko naman ginagamit yung jokes ng show. Parang napapansin ko lang yung pag gumawa ka ng joke about any situation, whatever, very sarcastic. So yung sinasabi, yung energy, it's the media you take in, it's the shows you watch, it's the things you read online. Yan. Kaya for me, mas kailangan talaga natin to be responsible when it comes to yung social media usage natin. Kasi meron ka bang mga filters or do you limit your time? Kasi you're very connected also and you love to connect with people. But in that act of connecting with people in social media, syempre nakikita mo yung buhay ng iba, you compare yourself with yung mga ka-age mo na parang successful na nila. I'm still kind of questioning where I'm in, diba? In this act of, I'm a person who needs to connect with people. So, kailangan ko yung social media. Pero meron ka bang mga tips naman dito sa social media on how to use it better na we get to take care of ourselves? Kasi, sabi nakikita ko yung mga negativity also, yung mga reklamo. Kaya nga ako, honestly, ako masyadong nagtitwitter na kasi palaging may nag-aaway sa Twitter. Palaging may nag-aaway compared sa ibang mga social media platforms. So how do you do it, sir? How do you go about looking at social media every day?
Yeah. Well, I follow news agency pages, for me to be aware what's happening around me, around the world, even kahit dito sa Philippines. Pero I don't focus on, pag kami nabasa na akong negative, sapat nang mabasa ko yung
headline.
Yung headline. Example, kanina, just right, ngayon kasi, di ba, we're recording this, may bumagsak na steel beam sa SLEX. I saw the pictures, but I don't want to read the content because malungkot. Kasi dumadaan ako sa SLEX, papuntang Batangas, Tagaytay, and it could be me. And seeing the photos na nadaganan yung sasakyan, blah, blah, blah.
So ako,
Yeah,
nabasa,
already.
I read mga,
Oo.
natayo kita, sir. I read like 5 lines of the article, tapos ayoko na basahin to. Nakita ko yung 1 dead and I think 4 hurt. Okay, exit na.
Yeah, 6 sila eh. 6 hurt and then one yung casualty. So, ayan na, ayoko na. Example, previous days, or recently, the typhoon. Ayoko tignan yung mga pictures. Ayoko tignan yung mga videos kasi nalulungkot ako. I even remember, nasa Ateneo High School ka pa noon when
was it Milenio?
The Yolanda, remember?
Yolanda.
Yolanda. Also, November din yun eh. Estudyante ka pa nun sa Ateneo. Wasilin Ateneo.
Mm-mm.
Wala tayong pasok no ng parang 1 week yata.
Tagal,
oo. Tapos, pagka bababa ako from my room, kakain ng dinner, tapos naka-on yung TV Patrol, tapos pinapakita, tapos naririnig ko yung, ayoko, nakaka-down because energy, no? Anyway, you can always filter your social media, no, kung ano yung lumalabas dyan. You can even unfollow people. You're still friends but you unfollow them kasi nababasa mo puro nega yung post, alam mo na yung buhay nila.
Or pwede mo i-mute. Yung style ka rin na I would suggest. Mute. Para kasi kung na-unfollow mo or tinanggal mo yung friendship stats or whatever, it might come off pa as ayaw na sa'yo sa buhay ko. I want to take you out from my life. Di naman.
Correct.
So baka
pwedeng mute ng mga
isang milder version.
Yes, oo nga naman. Pwedeng 1 month, 10 days.
Or kahit permanent. Bahala na kayo.
And also, it's about discipline din eh. Kasi nakaka-addict din when you use social media.
Yes.
Scroll ka lang ng scroll, mamaya 2 hours na. Ngayon, may reminder tayo, di ba? 2 hours ka na. Di ba? May reminder kung ilang hours ka or minutes ka na ginagamit mo yung social media. So, also, discipline is the key. And, pansinin mo, self-awareness, babalik ulit tayo sa self-awareness. You mentioned earlier na, some of your friends are successful, ganyan. Shift your mind, shift your thinking. Totoo, minsan maiinggit tayo. Kaya pagka naranasan mo yung inggit, you ask yourself, ba't ako nainggit? Kasi nga naman, yung iba mong friends nakapunta na sa different places, nakabili ng bagong gamit, in a relationship, tapos ikaw, nasa kwarto mo lang nakahiga, taga sana all. Taga heart, taga puso. Diba? So pag nahuli mo yung sarili mo, oops, something is wrong with me, pwede mong i-shift yung mindset mo, be happy for them. Be happy for them because you do not know the journey. You just see the surface. You do not know what happened to the story of the person. Kaya ako, when I have friends and I know their story and when they're so successful, pinupusuan ko talaga at nagko-comment pa ako kasi I know what happened. Alam ko yung buhay nila and now they're very successful. I'm happy for them, no? So, ayun, piliin lang natin yung napapanood natin and even yung mga pinakikinggan natin because it will affect our happiness.
Yeah. Last thing na I'm gonna ask about that, sir. So, nasabi mo na ayaw mo you don't want to watch yung mga sad stuff on news, yung mga tragedies. Ako rin, I agree and I relate. But I've been trying to, especially now, this year kasi talaga nakita talaga natin yung how the countries, how the governments handling the pandemic. Ang daming issue na lumalabas na. They were there already a lot of issues, but I feel like now, especially sa mga mga millennial Gen Z, mas mulat na tayo, we're more aware of it, but it's important so that we can actually contribute to the change. We have to know what's going on. So yun yung challenge ko ngayon na I don't like it also. I don't like seeing sadness. I don't like reading about tragedies, but the reality is we need to we can't just because it's not nice to read or look at, we can't shut out everything. No, we can't just erase everything.
Correct. And I was also active during the ECQ. Nagpo-post ako for awareness. This is what is happening in the world. This is what is happening in the Philippines. Tulad nun. January pa lang, pumutok na, NCOV pa yung tawag. NCOV. Isarado na ang Pilipinas. Wag na magpapasok from that country. Yung ibang mga bansa, nagsarado na ng mga bansa nila. Bawal na magpapasok from that country. From different parts of the world. Bawal. They're safe. 0 na yung cases nila. Nag-post ako noong January. Pambihira. Bakit ganyan? Galit ako. Haba ng post ko.
Oh my.
Hanggang umabot na nung March, April. Bakit laging gabi ano to? Ganyan. Post ako po. Until such time, people would message me, hey, Bryson, hey, kuya, blah, blah, blah. Is it not, di ba, you're a happiness teacher? Bakit ka nagpo-post ng negative? O, ayan na.
Nangyari yun.
Oo, nangyari yun. Dapat happy-happy ka lang. Nire-replyan ko, sabi ko, I am a happiness teacher, and this is just a title for marketing. Okay? And this title can be removed anytime. Okay? I am posting not negative things. I am posting things for awareness.
Yeah.
Kung ayaw ninyo ng post ko, di wag ninyong basahin.
Tama.
Of course, we love our country eh.
Yeah.
Ano lang naman eh, common sense.
Hindi naman natin hinahanap yung negativity. Kung wala yung mga problema, we're not gonna share any problems because there are no problems to share, di ba?
Ayan, ang tawag dyan eh, di ba? Toxic positivity. Walang problema. Everything is okay. The earth is healing. Okay, walang corruption. Anong walang corruption? Anong walang ganito? Tingnan mo nga, ang dami na nga. When they answer naman, hindi na So, ang dami nangyayaring ganyan. Tama ka. Woke tayo. Yeah. We also have to do our part. Hindi lang tayo nanonood. So, kung nanggigigil, manggigil tayo.
But at the end of the day, pero dapat hindi tayo mawala dun sa galit at sa gigil. Meditate pa rin after.
I mean, hindi rin dun matatapos, di ba? Na may magandang mangyayari. Why we do these things. Ayun.
Right. Wow. Sir, ang dami kong natutunan. Thank you so much. But before we end, I want to also for the listeners who were listening from the beginning, I'm sure they're curious, ano ba tong laughter yoga? Is it okay for us to do a quick, can we do a quick exercise now over Zoom? Meron nakita, pinagawa nyo kay Tito Boy, so gawin nyo yun kay Anton. And also for the people who are either listening right now or watching, join us. Ano ba tong laughter yoga exercises? Let's try a quick one, sir.
Okay, quickly. Describe lang natin. Laughter yoga is a unique concept where anyone can laugh for no reason. O, yun na. Hala, baliw pala, no reason. Without relying on humor, jokes, or comedy. The idea is when you laugh, even if it's fake, we begin with fake laughter. Even if it's fake laughter, your brain would think that it's a real laughter. Therefore, your central nervous system would release endorphins, making you feel good, and endorphins will also boost and protect your immune system. So the idea is we fake the laughter until it becomes real and contagious. That's the idea of laughter yoga. We will just have a quick exercise now.
So everybody listening and watching, please join us.
Okay, so I invite you first to put your forefingers under your navel and your thumb above it. So just like this.
Navel? What's a navel?
It's the pusod.
Above the belly button ba to?
So if this is your pusod, nakaganyan. Yan. So, yan. Or hawakan yung bilbil.
Yun pala eh. O yung mas madali sa akin. Boom, got it.
So, we will first make a hissing sound. So, this is just a preliminary exercise. So, we'll say, and when we say that, our belly should move upward, downward, or forward, backwards. Is it moving?
Gumagano ba?
He's
pushing forward.
Yes, gumaganon. Very good. Gumaganon.
Okay.
Very good. Okay, let's do that. 3, 2, 1, go. Smile. Okay, very good. This time, we will say, Can you do that? Practice. Go.
With the belly moving also.
Yes, the belly moving as well. Go. Okay, very good. That's it. And then we will just make it quick. We'll just make it fast.
Okay.
From we will create fake laughter. Okay?
So yung just what I was doing, pero speed up?
Gagawa na tayo ng fake laughter.
Okay,
let's go. Then mamaya, baka matawa ka na sa tawa ko at ako matatawa rin sa tawa mo. Matatawa ka na sa ginagawa mo. And that's the idea of laughter yoga.
Yes.
Okay, so let's take a deep breath. Inhale. We say 3, 2, 1, go. Okay, that's it. O, di ba? Nagawa
So you
mo?
start with a hissing sound and then you go to the while your belly's you're using your corporates, tas bigisan mo and pero honestly sir, ako pa hindi ko na masyado kailangan ng kasi I feel like as a person I laugh at almost everything naman. So
very good.
But
good
for those
you.
who don't, 'di ba? Use this exercise. after you meditate, before when you wake up,
Yeah.
meditate ka, do this exercise after, and hopefully that's gonna lead to a happier life. Anyway, again,
Yeah.
sir, thank you so much. Is there any last thing you wanna add? Kasi medyo patapos na yung year 2020, but I'm sure there's a lot of wisdom and there's a lot of advice you can still give on how we can face the ending of the year, and hopefully at the end of everything, at the end of 2020, we can at least say na, okay, at least 2020 was kind of a happy year pa rin to
Hmm.
me, all things considered.
All right. My last words would be, you deserve to be happy right here, right now. Let go of the drama na sabihin mo, next year na ako magiging masaya, or pagka na-promote na ako, pagka ganito. No. You can be happy now. You deserve happiness now. So receive this gift from God, because this is your natural state. And always remember that God wants you to be happy.
Oh,
There.
thank you so much, sir. Last
Thank
thing,
you.
if people want to know more about this, yung laughter yoga ninyo, be blessed, or ano ba tong, what else ba does the happiness teacher do? Where can they follow you online, or is there anything you want to promote now? Please do so.
All right. Thank you. So I'm active in Facebook. You can just search for my name, Bryson Bonsol, if you want to invite me to give a happiness workshop, no, to facilitate even laughter yoga for your group, for your company. You can just message me, and I also have a YouTube account. Just look for Bryson Bonsol. You can also find there my videos, and some of my videos, my interview, no, with Tito Boy and other interviews online. And I'm sure Anton will also post this, so you can
Yes.
find this. And I hope I will be able to publish my second book. My second book is entitled Seriously Crazy and Happy, mga kwentong nakaka-good vibes, probably by December. So,
Oh,
there.
okay. A lot. Very, very busy year for you. Sir, thank you again so much. It
Thank
was nice
you.
to reconnect with you. Even if we met and really talked many, many years ago, I'm still learning a lot from you. So, sir, thank you very much, and all the happiness to you and your family in this very intense year.
Yes, you too. God bless.